Before we solve the question analytically, let us make certain assumptions. The assumptions are as follows. In the spherical Galton board, it is assumed that there is gravity at the center of the sphere and the particles at the surface move towards it. The second assumption is that the nails are placed on concentric spheres and the separation between each is a constant r. That is, let these be concentric spheres, then the separation between each is r and nails are placed on the surface of each such sphere. A particle initially starts at the topmost point of the sphere 0, 0, r, assuming the center is at origin, and on hitting a nail, it can move only in 4 directions along the x and y axes. The initial position of the particle does not matter, as the mean and the mean square displacement will be found using different frame of references for different positions. Now let's move to the solution portion. So initially the particle is at point 0, 0, capital R, where capital R is the radius of the outermost sphere. It can move in 4 directions, left, right, up and down, which are along the x and y axes. And this is the concentric spherical shell which I have explained earlier. At any circular cross section of the sphere, there will be concentric circles with nails on them as explained previously. Now, let the random walker, that is the oxygen molecule, move n1 steps to the left, n2 steps to the right and so on as shown here. Now the net displacement r vector is given as xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap. And this is the expression for mod of r, that is the norm of r vector. Also, average of x is equal to average of n1 minus n2. Similarly for y, average of z is actually capital N into the step length. Here step length is small r as explained previously and capital N is the number of steps taken. So from this definition of capital N we have N1, N2, N3, N4 summed together equal to capital N as equation 1. Now we find the probability of going N1 steps to the right, which is given as follows: n factorial by n1 factorial, n2 factorial, n3 factorial, n4 factorial into p to the power n1, q to the power n2, r to the power n3, s to the power n4. Here p, q, r, s are probabilities that the walker moves in right, left, up and down respectively. In a completely random case, we have p equal to q equal to r equal to s equal to 1 by 4. Now average of n1, that is mean displacement in n1, is equal to summation n1 equal to 0 to capital N w of n1 into n1. This is given by the following summation. The only difference between this and previous summation is the n1 term which is multiplied here. Also from basic mathematics we know n1 p to the power n1 equal to p del by del p into p to the power n1. Also we can interchange the summation and differential operators and we have average of n1 equal to p del by del p summation. This summation term is actually p plus q plus r plus s whole to the power n, which can be found using the multinomial theorem. And this is true only because n1, n2, n3, n4 summed together is capital N. Otherwise this would not have been true. Thus we find average of n1 equal to this, which can be written as this as shown previously, and we finally get this as capital NP as p plus q plus r plus s equal to 1. The sum of all probabilities will always be 1. Thus average n1 equal to capital NP. Similarly, average n2 equal to nq, average n3 equal to nr and average n4 equal to ns. Average of x as shown earlier was average of n1 minus n2, which is 0. Average y is also 0 similarly. And average of z is nr because at each step we are going downwards by r units and we are taking a total of n steps. Hence, average of r is given as capital NR. Now we find the mean square displacement. Also, with respect to the center of sphere, the mean displacement is 0 along the z direction. And from the initial point, mean displacement is nr, where nr is the distance from the initial point. Mean square displacement. First of all, let's find average of n1 square, which is given by the following summation. Here n1 square is there instead of n1 like in the previous previous expression. Also, n1 square into p to the n1 is given as p del by del p whole of p del by del p to the power n1. Again, interchanging the differential operators and the summation, we have the following expression. Here we have already replaced the summation with the multinomial expression, which is given by the multinomial theorem. So evaluating the expression as follows, that is differentiating it twice, we have the following expression. Replacing both these terms by 1 as shown earlier, we have the following. Expanding, we get np plus n square p square minus np square. Do note that the value of PQRS are constant and is equal to 1. However, we can't consider this to be constant and make it 0, as we first have to differentiate it and only then can we put the values of the constant. So, like n1 square, we find it for n2 square. Similarly for n3 and n4. Now we have x square is equal to n1 minus n2 whole square, which is equal to average of n1 square plus average of n2 square minus 2 average n1 n2. Since n1 and n2 are independent of each other, since they are in opposite direction and do not affect each other, this can be opened into the following. Thus, this is the whole expression that we get. Now, replacing the value of n1 square and n2 square, which we got earlier, and replacing the value of n1 and n2 as capital NP and capital NQ, which also we got earlier, we get the following expression. So, solving for this expression, we finally get x square as 3n by 8. The same line of reasoning can be applied to find average of y square, which is also 3n by 8. Also, average of z square is equal to n square r square, as at each step we are moving r steps to the bottom and we are taking a total of capital N steps. So average of r square is the summation of average x square, y square and z square, which is as follows. In the limiting case where capital NR is equal to capital R, we have the following expression. So finally, the mean displacement is capital NR, while the mean square displacement is 3n by 4 plus n square r square. If this had been the case of a completely random walker, we would have got the mean displacement as 0. However, in this case, the random walker is constrained to move in only one direction, in the z direction. However, in the xy plane, it can move in any direction and hence the mean is 0.